Oh, so first of all, before I even start this video, please disregard my hair. I didn't stretch it out today, so it kind of looks like I got a big chop, but I didn't, okay? Just not stretched out. Anyway, so today I want to talk to you guys about racial dating preferences and the difference between a preference and just being racist. So this is a topic that comes up all the time on my fucking dashboard on Tumblr, but I never really see people actually talking about the difference between just being racist and having a preference. So I am here to break that down for you guys today. So what you're going to require is a notebook and a pen, and I'm gonna need you to take notes today, all right? Okay, let's get going. I'm gonna break this down to 3 different sections for you guys. First of all, I'm gonna talk about preference. I'm gonna talk about fetish, and then just being straight up racist. So I'm gonna start with preference because preference is kind of like in the middle here. And then on one extreme, there's fetishizing people, and then on the other extreme, there's just being straight up racist. So I know white people, you guys love your dictionary. So I'm going to read you the dictionary definition of a preference, okay? And feel free to look up, open your dictionary of choice and look this up. Do you need me to show you how to spell it? P-R-E-F. You got it? You sure? Okay. A greater liking for one alternative over another or others. So when we're talking about preference in terms of dating and really anything, what it means is that you might have a slight liking for one thing over another, but that doesn't mean that you literally hate all of the other things, and that is where a lot of you go wrong with this racial dating thing. So when we're talking about preference, a preference is something like, I prefer tall people. That doesn't necessarily mean that I literally hate every fucking short person and I want them to die and I would literally stab them in the face if they ever came and flirted with me. That's not what that means. It means that I have a slight liking for tall people or rich people or people who happen to work in the same career field as I don't fucking care. Whatever it is, it just means that you have a slight liking for something over everything else, but that doesn't necessarily mean that you are absolutely opposed to other options. That's all a preference means. Which brings me to my next point of you can have a racial dating preference, but it has to be a preference. It has to be something that you just prefer for whatever reason, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you are literally opposed to every other fucking race on planet. So I'll use myself for example. My preference is black people. Why? Because they're my people. Those are the people who understand my language. I don't have to fucking code switch, but we have the same culture. We have the same understanding of our daily fucking lives. So for me, who lives in a transracial family or in a racial family, I spend 90% of my day trying to explain the black experience to white people. It's annoying. It's frustrating. So when I come home at night, I don't want to have to do that with my fucking partner too. It is nice for me to have to come home and just be like, babe, I'm so fucking tired of explaining privilege to white people, and be like, you know what, babe, I understand, I get you. I don't have to come home and fucking have to explain to you now too what privilege is or why I'm pissed off another fucking black person was murdered by the police. I don't want to have to fucking do that to me. So yeah, I prefer people who understand where I'm at the same level. Now, does that mean that I literally will never date anybody else who's not black? No. Absolutely not. If we have the same connection that a lot of people who are not black, who are on the same level and got the same understanding, if we can connect that way and connect in other ways, sure, let's go. Why the fuck not? That is a fucking racial dating preference. Now, this is where things go wrong. You guys, the people who are culprits of this, usually choose one extreme or the other. So we're going to start with fetish. A fetish is the one extreme where it's no longer preference, it's you are going out of your way to seek out somebody of one particular race. So there's actually 2 definitions that I want to read to you. One of them is a course of action to which one has an excessive or irrational commitment. Keep that in mind. Secondly, a form of sexual desire in which gratification is linked to an abnormal degree to a particular object, item of clothing, body part, etc., etc. So what they're saying basically is that a fetish is when you are like literally have this irrational like need to be with somebody of a certain race for no rational reason. The black woman, this happens to black people a lot. There's this fetish about needing to have somebody who's ebony and a dark skin and big titties, or you're not seeking somebody out because you actually like that person and they just happen to be black. You're seeking that person out because they have a big tits, or their skin is dark, or they're a little bit chubby, or they're thicker, or whatever it is, or because you think that all black men have big dicks, and now because you're fucking this black man, you have the pass to say nigger, or like whatever it is. You're not seeking out whatever this racial fetish is that you have because you actually like the person, you're seeking them out because you have an irrational obsession with them. Honestly, it's really hard for some of you people, for some of you guys to really like recognize that it's a fetish for you because it's something that's just so normal for you. You think it's normal, but I'm here to tell you it's not fucking normal. You kind of are racist and you're fetishized people, and you need to fucking stop it. And the last point I'm going to make is just being straight up racist, for lack of a better term. Now, being like a fetish is a form of racism in itself, but for lack of a better term, for the complete opposite, and we're just gonna call it just straight up racist. Okay, so it's preference, fetish, straight up racist. So being straight up racist is the complete opposite end of being fetish, is where you absolutely just exclude every single person from a racial group. And this is always like the main topic behind when I see this topic being brought up. It's always because somebody says, oh, I just am not attracted to all black people. How? Explain that to me. And you know, anytime you ask somebody to explain it, they can never explain it. They're just like, oh, it's just a preference. How is it just a preference? Do you know that we call it all shapes and sizes and colors and hair textures and lips different sizes and nose different? So how can you say we are so fucking different? There are black people who look fucking white. So how are you going to sit here and tell me that you literally cannot be attracted to any black person on this earth? How? And I can promise you, if you found somebody who is not black that you're attracted to, I could find you a black person who looks exactly like that. And you're going to tell me that you wouldn't date them. Because why? Oh, I just have a preference. No, it's because you're fucking racist and you don't like black people. Let's just be real about it. And you can apply that same logic to any other fucking race. You see, that's why when people say things like that, I ask them to explain it. Because there's no way that you can actually, like, say the words out of your mouth and actually go through the thought process of this and actually think that you have a fucking point. Because as soon as you actually think about it, you're like, oh wow, I'm kind of racist. Because you are. So I hope that helped for you guys today. If you have any more questions or want me to elaborate anything else, you guys know how to contact me. onlyblackgirl@gmail.com, and you can hit me up on Twitter, Facebook, or my Tumblr. Yeah, like, share, and subscribe, and I will see you guys next week. Bye. Surprise, bitches! Maybe you should fucking read your history, because all these people that you're talking about are not fucking perfect people. But you know what? That doesn't change the fact they're pro-black as fuck, and they made changes, and they were great at their fucking job because they took it seriously. Because guess what? Being pro-black has nothing the fuck to do with who you sleep with or other shit that you do. You can still be pro-black and do other shit. Who knew? Oh my god, mind blow.